Hello, I'm the X-Toycat and welcome back to episode 285 of my Minecraft Xbox Updated Ventures Let's Play. This is a Let's Play where I've been playing through the various updates that have come out for Minecraft on the console, building stuff, killing stuff, and of course, destroying stuff. And in today's episode, I wanted to do some building. However, most of the time that I build on this Let's Play, and I feel like the way most people build in general, is either really small stuff that you can do in, let's call it 2 or 3 minutes, like, you know, this shack over here, or these fences, or placing a beacon, or simple stuff like that, or it's absolutely massive stuff that takes hours of, you know, work and building and stuff to actually get done, like the giant spear in the sky, which has been taking hours, by the way, to even be at, like, the point we are right now, where it's maybe a third finished, or like the Banker Toy Cat, or like the giant Toy Cat statue. So I figured with today's video, why not try and do something in moderation and do a medium-sized build. So the goal for today's episode is like the 25-minute build challenge, or 20-minute build challenge, or whatever that, you know, some one episode worth of building. I figured why not try and build an entire, you know, like build all at once, and then see what a medium-sized build looks like. Because I feel like, you know, not only is it like the people's habits in Minecraft to try and build stuff that's relatively easy and small, but I feel like that's how most people set their goals in real life too, right? Like you either want this giant goal that's going to take ages to go after, but will feel really cool, like, oh yeah, in 10 years, I'm going to be the biggest YouTuber on the site, or I'm going to be the best footballer in the world, or I'm going to be the first brain surgeon to, like, you know, separate conjoined twins, or whatever your goal is in life. I just made up some random ones there. You know, I feel like everyone wants these giant goals, or you want a really short-term goal of, like, oh yeah, tonight I'm going to eat a Big Mac, it's going to be pretty good, or in 2 minutes, or, you know, in 3 minutes, I'm going to, you know, drink some Fanta, it's going to taste pretty okay. And you know, I feel like everyone has their goals in 2 forms like that. But what about medium-term goals? What's wrong with those? And I guess this episode is not only an opportunity for me to build a Guardian, which is my medium-sized build of choice, but it's also an opportunity to see if medium-sized goals work. Like, will I feel good at the end of the episode with my kind of reasonably sized build? Or will I just feel like, would have rather built a bigger one? That's what we'll find out. And let's start by talking about the fact that it is a Guardian, and I think it's going to be pretty reasonably sized. We have to float while we build this, because otherwise my Frostwalker boots will activate. Because if I jump on top of it, you're going to see that, now I'm kind of, wait. Oh, well, okay, it doesn't activate at all. Apparently that's nice. But yeah, basically, I want to build a Guardian, and I want to build it reasonably sized and pointing directly at the place over there. Because if you don't know, this wall right here represents the divide between my old Let's Play world, you know, the classic world that I expanded on the Xbox One, and outside of this is the brand new TU31 biomes, TU31 blocks, all that sort of stuff. So I think what will be kind of interesting is if I had a Guardian poking kind of over the wall, looking back inwards, and, you know, again, I figured that'd be kind of cool as a little piece of art almost, but also, you know, more importantly than that, is if it was like a, you know, like, if it looks directly at the player with this giant red eye, because this is, if you don't know, if you haven't seen this in this tutorial world, the reason I wanted to build this, and you're going to spot, it's a little bit similar to the Guardian in this tutorial world. They built a bunch of statues of different mobs in this tutorial world, and I recently went back there for a video. I think it was like, you know, like jumping outside the world, the cool glitch. But yeah, I went back to the tutorial world for a video, and I saw all these statues again, and although I'd seen them before and all that sort of stuff, I don't think I'd ever truly appreciated them as much. And I was like, wow, they're actually pretty darn cool when you think about it. Okay, I need to jump into the water over here. Darn it. It's pretty cool. It was pretty darn cool when I first bought out. I was like, oh yeah, that is a pretty interesting thing. So I figured, why not build my own miniaturized version? Because it kind of also fits the theme, you know, as well as like, oh yeah, it's a cool statue of a Guardian built entirely out of just 2 blocks, just stone and cobblestone. But I figured we could kind of add 2 twists to it. The first one is that obviously the Guardian came out the same update as TU31 when I expanded this world. So, you know, if I had a Guardian poking over, it'd be like, oh yeah, there's symbolism of, like, there's the new stuff kind of trying to break into the old world. But, you know, because that's where the wood factory is, where I'll put some of the new trees in. But also, I think it'd be kind of cool because, like, oh yeah, if I have a giant red eye, then it'll be a statue that's entirely a statue besides one bit, and that bit will be pretty creepy, and hopefully, you know, that kind of works out. We'll see as we go along, I guess. So, yeah, let's first of all talk about the shape of the Guardian, because Guardians are also a really easy thing to build. Like, you know, I looked at the Guardian statue and I was like, wow, is it really that basic? Because it basically is. You know, this is actually the design of Guardians in general. They basically are just a cube with a tail coming out and some spiky bits. So, all we have to do is draw a cube, or, sorry, not draw, but all we have to do is create a cube with some spiky bits and a tail coming out, which is surprisingly easy as it turns out. So, yeah, let's do this. So we got 3 blocks over there. This makes that 4 then, and then 5, and then 6. Okay, that's not 6. Let's just leave that there, though. And then 6, 7, and then 8. And yeah, the only tricky side of the Guardian is the back, because there's like a little weird cuboid tail thing coming out. And then there's the front, because we've got an eye. Everything else is just like, oh yeah, let's just make a cube. And you know, I think I'm pretty good at making cubes. Been playing Minecraft long enough that I think I've got some expertise in that field. But yeah, while we work on this, again, medium-term goal thing, which I think is, I think it is really bizarre that, at least, maybe everyone else knows and I'm being crazy, but I feel like most people don't have medium-term goals, right? Like, no one's like, oh yeah, I would really like it if by the end of the year I was, you know, like 4% richer than I am right now, or like, I would really like it if I could learn, you know, like, how to sort of play guitar by the end of the year. You always picture like the really long term of like, yeah, I'm gonna be a millionaire in 50 years, or I'm gonna be in U2 or whatever band has like a popular guitarist. I don't know. I don't think U2 even has a guitarist. I don't actually know the band. I just listened to one of their songs and I know that Bono's known for being a jerk, right? That's all I know about that. But that wasn't the point. My point was just, yeah, you know, everyone pictures the end goal, or they picture the really short steps, and it's intriguing to me. And what's also intriguing to me, because this came up while I was, darn it, are we trapped out here now? I think we are. We have to like, oh wait. Okay, here's the clever thing. I can use the Frostwalker ice to jump back into this. That's actually kind of clever. I like that. So yeah, we're gonna walk along the Frostwalker, jump in, and do that. But yeah, so like I was saying, I think it's bizarre. Not only that, you know, your brains are kind of wired to either super long term, like amazing goals, or the short-term stuff, but also that your brains are kind of so our brains, I should say. I'm saying like yours as if like, oh yeah, you silly humans, you should be robot like Toy Cat. But no, if I think it's kind of bizarre that like everyone needs motivation to get stuff done, right? Like that, or inspiration, motivation, any word like that. That's I forgot. I need to have some holes in this center because I wanna have like an eye that's recessed, because Guardians obviously have a face like that. So I guess we'll remove all of that. Yeah, and then, actually, yeah, I think all we need is like a little rectangle. Let's call it like 4 blocks across. So is this 3 right now? Is this entire thing? No, it's not. Okay, so we remove these 2 blocks too. And then we'll have it like be recessed a little bit. And we'll build around that. And that should look okay. We'll see what it looks like for sure when we go back to bed, because we do need to do that in a second. But for now, this should be a solid face. Let's hope anyway. So yeah, this is the start of my Guardian. We're about 5 minutes now, just a little bit under 5 minutes into building. And as you can see, we've already got the shape down. You can already see the the idea forming. And that's a cool thing you don't get with these giant things. Oh, but yeah, like I was saying, so I feel like in most people's brains, you need motivation to get stuff done, right? Like even you might think, oh yeah, I need to be inspired to go to school and work on the next big idea. I need inspiration to. In my case, like make a YouTube video or do this or that. But I feel like it's also, or make some brand new piece of art or play the guitar. But I feel like you also need motivation to do simple stuff like, oh yeah, I'm gonna eat breakfast today. You don't need a lot of motivation. Like you just need to, have enough to go downstairs and pour a bowl of cereal or whatever. But you do need some amount, right? Because if you just, if you let your brain do whatever it wants to do in that exact moment, it's like, oh yeah, I'll just end up laying here in bed doing nothing all day. And I think I might have mentioned this story before. I spent a day once just on a sofa like, oh yeah, don't really want to do anything, just gonna let my instincts take over. And what I ended up doing was just laying there doing literally nothing. Like every now and then I'd be like, I'm gonna check my phone, and I'd open it for like a solid 6 seconds and be like, this is too much effort, not worth it, and I'd go back and do nothing. And that is how like I feel like a very surprising number of people live their lives, like just entirely on autopilot. But the problem is and I don't know why this is a problem. I feel like, again, if I was the brain designer, so if anyone out there is in charge of designing the way people think, but I feel like, it's really bizarre that the way, that you want to act in any given instant is usually not the correct thing to do, right? Like, with very few exceptions, most of the time what you want to do is you want to do stuff that's like advantageous for future you, as opposed to advantageous for you right now, right? So, if you, right now, or yeah, maybe if you're watching this video, what you might want to do is like, I don't know, check your phone and see what's going on Twitter, or maybe you want to continue watching the video and lay there and, I don't know, whatever you're doing right now, you want to do more of that, right? But the thing is like, often what you want to do for the future is like entirely mismatched to that. And it's really bizarre to me that, again, if you just, the easiest course of action to take and the one that your brain kind of wants to take in one way is also the one that your brain will be super upset with. Like, you know, you'll get super depressed if you do nothing but eat M&Ms for 3 days in a row and, you know, read Twitter, because that's not how you live life, right? And that's always something that's so bizarre to me, the fact that the entire process of being successful or being happy or being any of the good, you know, adjectives in life, right? But the entire process of being anything like that is just by overriding your brain, because your brain is kind of like I think this is like a CGP grade fault, but I think your brain is kind of like a monkey brain, right? That you're trying to trick into doing work, because, you know, no one wants to do work. That's why we call it work. That's why we call it an obligation or whatever, because it's something you do despite not really want to do. And again, I think it's kind of nuts to me that the people who are successful are just the people who are really good at not doing what they think they should do, which is it's weird when you really get down to it. Or maybe I'm just entirely wrong on this. Maybe most people actually want to do that stuff. Like, you know, if you wake up every day and you're like, yeah, I'm so pumped, man. You know, I wish I kind of want to stay in bed and, you know, like eat M&Ms all day and read Twitter and watch Toy Cat videos. You know, watching Toy Cat videos is lazy. Let's take that back. But, you know, I want to eat M&Ms and, you know, read the internet all day. But instead, I'll just be lame and I'll go out and, you know, learn Chinese and find the cure for cancer or whatever. I feel like, you know, if anyone actually is like that, that'd be pretty crazy, right? Because then, you know, they get to do what everyone else experiences with all this effort for nothing, and that's pretty nuts when you really think about it. So anyway, I think I raised the point in there, or maybe I just confused everyone. You're like, Toy Cat, maybe you should speak with more words. Which, for the record, I am totally, like, trying to do. I realized the one, you know, like, kind of flaw in my speech, because, you know, here's a fun fact. I never really intended to speak for the internet. Like, my earliest videos, you'll notice, don't have any commentary on them. And the whole idea of commentary is something that, like, or, you know, talking over the video at the same time, for those uninformed. But yeah, the whole idea of it is something that's a bit wacky to me, because I didn't understand it at first until, like, I guess I started watching some and I kind of enjoyed it in some way. Because the idea that, like, someone can actually add something to what you're watching just by talking about it is, I guess, kind of bizarre, because although, you know, it's the truth in all things, like, you never see the news as, like, just pictures of the news, right? It's always, oh yeah, here's the news, and here's, like, our man Jeremy Maguire, or I'm making up names at this point. Here's our man talking about it right now, and oh, look at that. It looks like here's some people's opinion on it too. Because in some cases, like, seeing something really means nothing without an opinion attached to it. Like, which, again, that's kind of a cool little fact by itself, right? So, yeah, when it comes to commentary, I'm not, like, I never really expected to do this whole sort of thing, and I think all YouTubers, I was going to say most YouTubers, but almost all of them, right? Like, no one can be a professional at this, because no one expected to be. But unless... Oh, we made a giant mistake here. Oops. My bad. Yeah, no one expects, you know... It's not the sort of thing you train for. Like, you know, if you wanted to be a... I'm going to have to make up jobs again. A brain surgeon, you train to be that for, like... a ridiculous number of years, actually. Like, 7 years. And, like, you know, in those 7 years, you think about how your life would be as a brain surgeon, or... whatever else. At least I assume so. I've never been to medical school. Fun fact, by the way, guys. Never been to medical school. But yeah, it's true. That sort of thing you don't really consider. I need to get on there somehow. Like, oh, okay, we'll do the same thing we did before, where we kind of stand on the ice as our way to, like, jump up there. So, I don't know how that, like, this is a very bizarre way of building, but apparently it works, so I guess we'll take that. So we'll place a couple of blocks here, kind of build around here, and then this can be the basis for our, yeah, okay, that's solid, and this can be our guardian tail, and it'll look like something. Oh, but the big thing I'm missing is, okay, so I'm gonna have to build onto this again. See, I thought I was, like, done in, like, 12 minutes, and I was like, oh, this is meant to be a 25-minute build challenge, but I've done it in 10 minutes. But the actual big thing I've done here is, or the big thing I need to do here, I should say, is the big spikes on top of the guardian. Because the guardian is, no, I accidentally flew, I hate flying. I guess we'll fly back onto it. That's gonna be my pro tip. But yeah, like I was saying, the thing about the guardian that seems easy is it's just a cube, but it also has these, like, giant spike tips coming out of it. So mistakes were made. So yeah, to recap everything so far: something, medium-sized projects, something, motivation. People don't have it. Maybe we should have it. I think we should. I feel like if you really think about it, the people who are most motivated to do cool things, or things that they want to do, as opposed to things their brain wants to do, right? because it's weird that they're two separate things, but they are, right? That's something we can all agree on. But you feel like they're, in theory, that like as time goes on, humans should get more motivated. But I really feel like it's going the opposite way. Like, can we fly onto that? Oh, we can pretty easy actually. But I feel like it's going the entire opposite way. Like, oh yeah, as time goes on, people are just going to get less. Is that frozen as ice still? Bizarre. As time goes on, people are getting like less and less motivated, as opposed to the opposite of like, I mean, could do this, but meh, why would we? Like that seems to be the prevailing attitude, and that is kind of scary to me. Like like in the movie Idiocracy, if you've ever watched that. If you haven't, I think it's either on Amazon Prime Video or it's on Netflix. One of the two. If not, then it's available in dubious websites across the internet. I'm sure you know the ones. But yeah, basically, Idiocracy, pretty cool movie. The idea is like, oh yeah, well, as humans go on, the ones that reproduce are the ones that, are kind of more stupid and blah, 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 blah. Basically, it's a cool movie. Should watch it. I think it's by the people who make some popular American cartoon, King of the Hill, maybe? Something like that. But the point being is in that movie, in relation to what I was saying, like all the people are just like super stupid, like the doctors just press funny buttons like a kid's toy all day, because no one really knows what to do, because they're just kind of going along with the existing systems in place, if that makes any sense. And it's kind of scary that like, I feel like that's actually the direction we're heading in as a society or whatever, because I mean, everyone has to specialize more and more. Like, whenever I speak to like my, if you don't, I've been working in my bathroom a lot recently. So I have a friend who's a plumber who's helping me out a lot, and he's like really, really, like skilled and into like all of the stuff to do with plumbing, right? And obviously my forte is a bit more in like IT stuff, and it's really bizarre how like our skill sets are just entirely like untuned. Like he's like, oh yeah, you can control that using internet. That's kind of bizarre. And I'm like, wow, you can do that just using pipes. That's really some cool stuff. But like our ideas of what each other's stuff can do is like massively unaligned, right? So there's no use to me being in here. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh yeah, next I need to do the diagonal ones. So every single side, midway through, kind of like this, I have to have the exact same thing, but going outwards. So I guess we'll have them go more out rather than less out, but I can't do that from here. I guess we'll jump down onto the water. Okay, how do we jump onto the water? Because that's where I need to be. Then we can do these other ones, and we should be all good there. Yeah, let's do that. Oh yeah, so like I was saying, I feel like everyone's going to be really specialized at some point, and we're going to be at the level where like, oh yeah, no one has any idea how to do anything, and that's kind of a scary idea to me. Like, we should be getting super motivated and being superhuman beings, but I feel like the exact opposite's happening, because this is wrongly aligned, right? Is it? These two look like they're on the same layer, but they're just not. That's a bizarre little fact. Oh, darn it. On the ice, quickly. No! Okay, so we have to go back to the wall. Or, actually, okay, we'll go into the house and we'll do it that way. But as you can see, the Guardian's actually coming along pretty nicely. I think the spikes might be a bit too short. Maybe they're a bit too long instead. It's hard to say for certain. But once we've done all of them, we can either extend them all or not extend them all. And yeah, they probably need like a block extension, I'd say, from over here. But it's looking pretty good, right? It's looking pretty good. And it's giving the effect that I wanted for, where as you're standing over here, you see the Guardian. And once we put the eye in it, which is going to be made out of red, to kind of contrast with the stone grey stuff, it'll look directly into your eyes. And kind of like there's a really famous painting, right? Where as you like walk around the room, it's always looking at you because of like, I don't know, like, what's the, optical illusions. Which, for the record, I really like optical illusions. Not because I think they're, like, clever, because they just, they use, like, whole... It's kind of like, like a bug, but in the eye system. Like, if you think about it, it's like, oh, yeah, this needs to be patched out. Whenever there's a next, optical nerve patch coming out, they should probably focus on this. And, yeah, that's what the entire idea, I'd say, behind... do these go outward? Yeah, these go outwards first. Then this way. And then this way. And then probably one more that way, I think. Yeah, that sounds about right. Have I done it there? I have. Okay, so we're doing the exact same thing. As long as we do it the same each time, we should be good. So let's walk this way slowly. And then we'll do it over here. And then so on and so forth. Until we're all done. Nice. So yeah, like I was saying, optical illusions just kind of bugs in your system. But I feel like they're pretty cool because, like, oh yeah, you really can just... If the eyes can be tricked so easily, you realize how, certain other things might be able to be tricked so easily. Because the eyes are how most people perceive the world, right? Like, to me at least, again, I like my vision a lot. Maybe you don't like vision. Maybe you're a hearing man. Maybe the way things look aren't important to you. Maybe you're actually blind and you're watching this. That's possible. I believe I have a legally... legally blind and actually blind are quite different things. But, like, I believe I have a legally blind subscriber. Does that look right to you? I thought it would look better, but it looks really bizarre from up close. Because it's meant to be like... we'll look at it after we're done. So let's do this little spiky thing over here. So, just like that. I feel like, sight is my favorite of the senses. It's pretty darn cool, right? Like, you can see stuff. It's hard to even describe why sight is the best sense, because it's just that head and shoulders above everything else. Like, when you think about, like, oh yeah, so there's this awesome thing. Sometimes you think about, sometimes you'll think about, okay, let's think about a place. If you think about a place, you think about how the place looks. You rarely think about how it smells or how it sounds. Besides like maybe a bustling market, it's usually the sights that you're locked onto. And isn't it kind of cool and bizarre that like everyone perceives the world mostly through this one sense, except the one sense is tied into your eyes, and your eyes are really, really good at lying to you. They do it all the time, non-stop. It'd be like if I only trusted one person. Let's say they're my wife, but my wife is known to lie a lot. But she's the only person I trust regardless. And it's like, well, I mean, I feel like there's some bad decision making going on here. Or like everyone else should feel that at least. And it's kind of like that, except your eyes are your lying wife. I think I think that was meant to be some grand point, but I might have lost it somewhere along the way. But point being here, optical illusions are cool. I like them. And hopefully this guardian kind of works like an optical illusion. I think that'd be pretty cool, personally. I think that'd be pretty cool. Anyway, so I was recently really, really thinking a lot, and I know this will sound ridiculous. I was thinking like an excessive amount about overthinking. Like, I guess I was overthinking if you will. Because, okay, so the term overthinking, the way people say it, is to describe you if you're looking for way too much meaning, where there pretty much isn't any, right? So if you mention how you like bacon, and I'm like, oh, are you saying that you don't like pigs and that you think I should get out of the house? And you could be like, no, Toy Cat, I think you're overthinking this right now. That would be entirely valid, right? Because I am overthinking your bacon statement. However, I think, so let's put some stone down. However, I think, like, every now and then, overthinking is actually a really good thing. Like, people will tell you, oh yeah, you gotta stop overthinking this one, just because you're getting near the answer, and that makes people uncomfortable. So, I know, there's a few examples of this, but, like, okay, let's think about, like, the brand name, I Can't Believe It's Not Butter? I never actually bought I Can't Believe It's Not Butter. Or I might have bought it once. But you've got to think about the whole idea of, like, okay, so there is a brand of butter out there that claims to not be butter. It claims that it's not butter, but is it butter? Is it not? Are you allowed to find out? Is it one of these like brand name things? Like, is it overthinking to be upset that, oh yeah, the Subway footlong? If you go to any Subway in the world and order a footlong, it's not actually a foot long. It's like 11 inches, or I could be wrong. I think it's like 11.5. Maybe it's even 10 inches. But like the Subway footlong is significantly less than a foot, right? Just because something brand name. So would it be nuts if like I Can't Believe It's Not Butter is actually just butter, and that's only their brand name? Because it would totally work in the same way, right? I don't think that's overthinking. I think that's like the real hardcore truth. So I saw someone like talking about that Reddit, so I was like, no, I think you're just going too much into this. But I feel like to call anything overthinking on any serious issue is probably not a good idea. So that was the key point I wanted to raise of that one. I Can't Believe It's Not Butter. Is it butter or not? If it is butter, then can you sue them for misadvertising? If it's not butter, then legally could you claim that they sell their product a bit too much like butter? Who knows? It's kind of bizarre. Actually, when it comes to food labels, there's so many bizarre things in the world of like, oh, I don't think this is meant to connect in the middle. Yeah, there's meant to be like a little gap. Let's call it 2 blocks across. Let's call it 4 blocks across, actually. Right over here. Yeah, that sounds about right. So we'll have this be like that. Maybe. Oh, okay. I'm entirely lost now. So, okay, we'll cement this up. Oh, not cement. We'll fill that up. And we'll remove these blocks right here, because that's kind of ugly. And then I guess we'll leave that be. I think we probably also want to remove that block over there. And also these blocks over there. And then if we come back from this whole thing... By the way, I know I need to repair this pickaxe. It's pretty bad. Yeah, that's like a guardian tail. It's not a perfect guardian tail, but it kind of works. And then if we go around to the front, we should also... Yeah, there we go. That's a complete guardian. There's something the tiniest bit off about it. I really can't work out what it is. Oh, if you look, that doesn't have as many bends as it should have. Okay, that's probably not it, but it's a issue about the whole thing. So now all of the bends are the same on these little spiky diagonal things. And in theory, if I go and look at this, it should give the cool optical illusion that I'm going for. So let's go back from this. Oh, wait, I'll turn around in the last second. So we'll like run through the tunnel, run back through it, and we'll see if the Guardian looks like it's staring me in the eyes, as if to say, Toy Cat, why did you expand your world? Or, Toy Cat, I'm coming to get you from the world, or whatever it's trying to say. Let's see if it does. Yeah! Okay, as you can see, I like that eye. It feels like it's following me around at least a little bit. Like, maybe this is just me being slightly crazy. But again, the eye actually looks like it's following me. Like, like that Guardian is looking me directly head on, even right here. But that could be my eyes. It could be an optical illusion inside an optical illusion. And if it is, then that's entirely fine with me. But that's what I did today. I built a Guardian. I don't know how good I feel about it just yet. I'll let you know when the video goes live, maybe in the comments or just in general. But I think it's a cool idea to try out, like medium-term goals. See how they work for you, and maybe give them a try. But anyway, I hope you did all enjoy this video. Like it if you liked it. Share it if you really liked it. Subscribe if you're new around here, because I make videos like this one every single day on my channel. And if subscribed, you'll see them daily on your homepage. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.